Much improved display last week at Watford. Is it about now taking the positives out of that game into Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's a case of building on what's happened previously. You know, we've been up and down in the past few weeks, but I thought we showed some real determination and consistency at Watford away, and I felt as though we were unlucky to be on the receiving end of a defeat under the circumstances. You know, if it's an extremely good goal and it goes in the top corner as has happened to us in the past, then I think it's acceptable. But it was one of those goals where luck played a part and it didn't go our way.
This weekend potentially it could be a club record if you suffer another defeat. Can you use that as a motivation for the players?
Yes, we should do. You know, it could be a club record one way, but it's also, you know, when we look back not too long ago, we also set a club record starting in the Premier League as well. So from our point of view, we've proved that we can win games at this level, and I'm sure our players are aware that when they're competitive, when they're determined, we can get anybody a game.
How difficult has it been, the challenge of keeping everybody up when you've gone through this run of defeats, and for you as well?
I think, you know, under the circumstances, there are always some players that probably have a bit of self-doubt and they analyse themselves and maybe think they could do better. And we all have to do that. You know, we're under no illusions of the task and what is demanded at this level. But we have performed, and in other games we haven't. So it's important that, you know, we're at home, we have the opportunity to show our worth and get a result.
Robert Snodgrass, will he be involved this weekend? Have you had a conversation with Gordon Strachan?
I haven't had a conversation with Gordon. He's been called into the squad, as numerous other injured players have as well. They got injured, one or two of them in international duty, and seem to be playing the next game during an international as well. We have Robert available to train today. He's done his rehab with the physios, and you know, he's shown signs of getting back into the group. Whether that will be too late or whether he can do enough to put himself in the picture on Sunday, it just depends what happens today and tomorrow.
If he doesn't play on Sunday, would you still be happy for him to go away with Scotland?
Well, I think, you know, right now it's a case of trying to be available for Hull first and foremost. After that, I don't think there'll be any real issues in a week's time for him to be fit. Whether this game has come early for him may be, you know, something we'll have to think about and discuss. But for Scotland, I'm sure he'll be fit and ready for that. And if he is fit and ready and he is capable, you know, and he's shown the signs that he is available, then I've no problem with him playing in that game.
Southampton had a great result last night. Sometimes after a big European night, it can be a little bit of a come down. It's difficult in the next game. Is that something you can take advantage of this weekend?
Well, they have a squad, you know, comparable to any top team in the Premier League, and I think they made 5 changes last night. I'm sure that wasn't, you know, in preparation to play against us on Sunday, but it gave them the opportunity to do that because of the size and the numbers they've got and the quality they've got. I watched the game. It was interesting, but they are a club that is on the up. They are a team that is playing very, very well, and we will have to be at our best to be competitive.
Final one from me. Gary Walsh's exit. You were already thin on the ground in terms of your backroom team. What's the next step?
Well, I seem at the moment to be always looking for staff rather than players. I think the circumstance arose where Gary conducted himself immaculately, really, from day one, from pre-season all the way through. He expressed the desire to stay at this football club, and then obviously as time went on, Aston Villa jumped in there, which was part expected, and he took up his option to leave, with our blessing, with my blessing anyway, because he's been terrific, as was Clem as well when he was here. But we couldn't keep hold of them, and we have to move on and move forward. So we are looking. It's not an ideal time to do it, but we have the international break where we could fill those those spaces.
Mike, is this the worst period in your coaching career? It's gone from manager of the month to a very disappointing period. Do you think it's the worst time?
I wouldn't say it's the worst time because, where I've been in the past, losing one game is hard to take. In this particular moment, it is a big learning curve for all of us. We've moved up a level. I've moved into this role and I'm relishing it. It's not fazing me and it's not getting me depressed or down. I'm pretty confident. Working with the players every day gives you that confidence. And it's just a case of settling everything down and hopefully we can build on the good things we've done previously. Yes, we have lost our way a little bit in certain games, but with the quality that we've got and the togetherness that we're trying to bring to this football club, we can achieve something.
You seem a level-headed sort of bloke who stays on a medium, as it were. Did you sort of get those kind of skills from Alex watching Southampton?
You get the skills from observing lots of people. I've been fortunate enough to work with plenty of good coaches and good managers, and being in an establishment where you have to keep a level head because where everybody's reacting and overreacting, you've got to keep a sense of purpose and what it's all about and look further forward than just the last game. I think that's important here because, we have our trials and tribulations all over at this football club, but we have to deal with them. We are dealing with them. But what's most important from my point of view, my staff's point of view, is making sure the players are fully focused on their job. And their job is to try and win football matches. Sometimes that's a bit more difficult than it can be. But we are confident. We are upbeat about things. We do want to win football matches more often than lose football matches. But it does take a lot of hard work and a lot of togetherness to do that.
Do you feel at the moment that all the bad breaks are happening to you at the moment? You've got the goal at Watford example, the suspensions, the injuries and so on, and losing staff. It does seem to have been a bit of a long run.
Yes, it does, but we know over a season those things tend to get a little bit leveler as the season progresses. Our only issue possibly is our lack of numbers, but that played out its course simply because we started the season with very, very few football players. We added to that, and we added to that pretty quickly, which is possibly one of the reasons why we've levelled off a little bit. But we hope to make amends for that. We hope to build on what we've got, and time will tell.
Thank you.
Do you have Mercy, Mbakani and Marcus Henriksen back in your squad this weekend?
Do, yes. Yeah, and Mbakani is back on the training ground. He's trained probably twice this week. He looks okay, but obviously it's all about fitness levels, and he's been out since the last international. So if we can have him available after the next couple of days, then it will be a plus.
Do you have any fresh problems?
Not really. Do I need any more? Not really. It's just a case of settling everybody down, and remembering who we are, what we're about. Are we competitive enough? And can we put up a good show in this game coming up against Southampton, leading into an international break?
How pleasing was it to see Alan McGregor return this week?
Yeah, very good. It's always good to see a football player who, some point in time gets an injury which question marks everything about, whether you're going to play again, whether you're going to get over it, and all the work and all the effort that he's put in along the last 4 or 5 months, maybe longer, has paid off. So he's back in training. He looks good. He's back playing a game tonight. So it's good that we have competition for that place.
And what about in terms of a potential return to the first team? How far off is it, do you think?
Well, time will tell. I mean, it was back surgery, so we're not going to rush that side of things. It's important that he feels good, that he can get the continuous work in on the training field that's required at this level. And when he comes through all those obstacles that have been put in front of him, then he'll be ready.